The road to Nairobi. As yesterday was the day of the Duma, so today is the day of the Simba. The film, The Lion King, had touched me deeply. From the opening scene and the circle of life, I had cried at the beauty of Africa. I had laughed at the warthog and couldn't look at these ugly creatures without thinking of Pumbaa as they run with their tails straight up in the air. I had wondered at the beauty of the lion cub Simba and was devastated when Mufasa was trampled in a stampede of wildebeest. In the years since I had bought my first Disney stock, it split 3 for 1, and when it dipped, I bought more. After 12 years, my shares numbered 1,000, and after giving some away as gifts, in November I sold the rest. This brought just enough money to pay for my world business class trip to Africa, right down to the single supplement. I would go in style, and I would go alone, and I would go into an Africa that Disney had shown me more than a decade ago, to witness the circle of life firsthand. As the other Land Rovers pull out of the encampment, turning left towards the plains of the Masai Mara, we turn right and go to the other side, up the craggy ridge and across the Mara River. We pass another small village of brightly painted, corrugated steel buildings and dung huts. Cellophane wrappers reflect the morning sun like a disco ball. We pass a gift shop run by the Maasai in the middle of nowhere. Yet this is not the road to nowhere, for this ridiculously rutted road of boulders and ditches, potholes and ravines is the road to Nairobi. I silently thank Mom for getting over her fear of bush planes. We are tossed around, my stomach doing flip-flops from the pot of coffee I have consumed, and my intestines are beginning to talk to me in angry tones. I refuse to listen. Bwana threatens our driver that this had better be worth the drive. David then points to a ridge far in the distance topped by a huge acacia tree. That is Leopard Gulch, he says, and then adds that the leopard who lives there is gone. I think to myself, then what the heck are we doing going to an empty leopard lair? And David answers my unasked question. The leopard has left us because of the lions. A pride has taken over the domain, so it seems. By now, it is no surprise that I am again the last to see the animals. They are off to our right as we turn parallel to the gulch and David turns off the engine. I then see, way off in the distance, 2 lionesses with many very young cubs. These were the first cubs we've seen, and I am once again absorbed and forget totally about my unsettled stomach. The lions are Mom's favorite, especially the cubs. She had given me my reward of yesterday, and today she would take hers. David has positioned us between the pride at some distance and the tree behind us that is their destination. We are just enough out of the path that they will have to walk by us, but we have not blocked their passage. As David has predicted, one of the lionesses gets up, stretches, and with cubs hanging off her trying to suckle, walks slowly toward us. I find myself holding my breath, for they will pass right by me. I think again of you and let out a long sigh, then breathe in the air of Leopard Gulch. There are 7 babies, about 4 months of age, and they are adorable. The group lumbers up the slope towards a huge acacia tree that will be their vantage point. The lioness files by with 6 of her brood. The straggler, whom I name Simba, is quite a ways behind the others. He has an air about him of sheer arrogance. There is a determination in his gait. He isn't seeking out his mama's teat. He is showing defiance towards us strangers in his territory. I have no doubt that someday this young cub will grow to father his own cubs and perpetuate the survival of his brethren. As he passes on his way, he is reading my thoughts, for he stops directly in front of the vehicle and looks me full in the eye. His direct stare holds a message for me that I cannot read, and I simply hold on to my breath in that long moment and feel blessed. After the pride moves on, we do the same. We traverse down the hill and pass a herd of elephants destroying what once had been a copse of acacia. Their slow determination and sheer strength makes me shudder as I watch one step on a huge branch with an enormous foot, then wrap her trunk around the smaller limbs to rip them from the tree. She offers the most tender of the branches to the young. The trees themselves, The elephants simply lean against with their massive heads and uproot them from the parched earth. I hear the groans of the trees as they fall and are picked apart. We move on down the hill, and where the creek slowly meanders, there lounge two fine male lions, their manes thick and dark. One approaches the other and shows brotherly affection for him, and we take in the show. Our other vehicle is only a few yards away, and when one of the lions gets up from his bed in the tall green grass of the creek, he and the other begin posturing. Something has upset them. In silent unison, we all hope it is not us. Then they begin to talk among themselves in the low, guttural, primal speak that only they can translate. Then they move past us toward the other car. Donnie is in the back, his long lens poised, when one of the lions walks deliberately toward him, stops, and looks him directly in the eye. Not unlike the stare his lion son gave me, but coming from this great beast, we are all astounded. This scares Donnie down to his toenails, and he physically backs up in the Range Rover. Then the two move on and allow Donnie to let out his breath. We all have a good laugh over the lion that wanted Donnie that day. We have seen enough, and the sun is beginning to bake us. We still have the rutted road ahead of us, and we are ready for breakfast. On our way into the gulch, I had seen a young zebra with a broken leg trying to keep up with his mother. None of us photographed him. We just watched, knowing that he would not make it through the day. Now, as we head for home, just before we turn onto a road far bumpier than the countryside around it, there he is again. He has slowed and fallen considerably behind his mother, who is now ignoring him. This scene, reality itself, will be our send-off from Lion Gulch. Mom rejoices her baby lion and grieves for this baby zebra, yin and yang.